Hey everybody, welcome back to the Be Better on Purpose, Passion for Purpose Up Close and Personal podcast. And today I have with me Coach Toni. She told me just call her Toni, but I said, I have to put a title on because I had a pastor who always said, you always want to put a person's proper handle if they have one. So I would say Coach Toni in the introduction, but I would say Toni throughout the rest of the podcast. So I want Coach Toni to tell the Be Better on Purpose, Passion for Purpose Up Close and Personal podcast, who is Toni?
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Jones. I am so grateful that you invited me to be here. My name is Toni Harris Taylor. I live in Houston, Texas, and I have several brands, as you can see behind me. I am known as the Networking Queen, and the Networking Queen is the one that's that conduit, that hub, if you will, and I help connect people for a living. And so Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching is my first brand. I am a marketing and sales coach, specifically marketing strategies around relationship building. So how to network before, during, and after an event. How to do speaking so that you can attract your ideal clients. How to use social media, relationship building strategies in social media so that you can have those connections. How to build offers and charge what you're worth. So that's my first brand. The second brand is Network in Action Global Partners. Network in Action is a franchise.
Okay.
And not many Black people own franchises. In fact, statistics says 7 to 8%, and most of them are restaurant brands. I didn't know that there were franchises that were home-based, part-time in my small business industry. And when I found out about Network in Action, I said yes. And so with Network in Action, it's a referral networking group. We bring business owners together to make connections, introductions, open doors for each other, and build relationships that last a lifetime. And third, I am the host of the Viral Networking Conference. The Viral Networking Conference is an annual conference where I bring business owners into Houston from around the world, in person and virtually, and help them to build those connections and relationships and learn the strategies that they need to learn so they can go out into the world and grow and be viral.
I think that is just so amazing. And it's interesting. You being from Houston and I'm being here from Atlanta, we are two of the cities where African Americans have really, really made their imprint in life.
Yes.
Just bringing those two markets together like that, I just think it's something great. And the fact that most of the people who I have on my podcast, a lot of people who I talk to around town, they're doing some great things. But you know what? It seems like we miss the most? What you're specializing in, network and marketing.
Yes, networking and marketing. And most people set up their business. And here's the deal, Dr. Jones. Most people set up their business and they love what they do.
Yeah.
And nobody told them, though, that they needed to really learn marketing and sales before they even got good at what they do.
Yes.
Right? So people spend a lot of time getting their doctorate, and no offense, but you spend a lot of time getting doctorates and certifications and trying to prove you have the knowledge, when the truth is nobody cares about your knowledge till they know they like you, and trust you.
That is so true. I state often, I think sales 101 and 102 should be requirement for high school.
Absolutely.
I believe, I was a business major in undergrad, and I think that's what made the difference with me for what I'm doing now, what I do with the church, what I do in the community, and some of the other groups of things I work with. I learned sales training, I learned marketing skills, and though it was years ago in undergrad, I never forgot those principles.
That's right.
Those principles, those things might change in how we do it, the principles go remain the same.
Absolutely. And the principle of marketing is show up.
Yeah.
So I have a saying, show up, be up, follow up to blow up. That's the principles of marketing. You got to show up where your target market is.
Yeah.
Be in front of them, be attractive. So they'll be like, who are you and what do you do? And you've got to be able to speak to the pain of your potential client. You got to be, the pain reliever. You can't just be nice to have. It'd be like, you got to have me in order to solve your pain. And so in networking, many people think they're networking, Dr. Jones, but they are not, because what they do is they do show up. They get cute, they go to events, they show up, they pass out cards, hit the digital card, whatever method you're using today. Yeah. And then what happens after that? Typically nothing.
Right.
And I teach the what happens after the event.
I think that is so amazing. And to me, when it comes to meeting people, I always try to strike when the iron is hot. So if I meet you today, I'm going to text or call or email you within the day so you can remember where we met and how we met. And then I'm going to follow up with that a little later on, because when people meet each other, the memory is fresh.
Yes.
The longer you let go by, the more they're going to forget you, not even want to be involved with it at all.
So I have a solution for that, and I teach my clients this solution. I'm going to give it to your audience because it's golden. Yeah. And that is, don't follow up.
Okay.
Well, Toni, you just said that follow-up is part of your formula. It is.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say, don't follow up. Get people on your calendar on the spot.
Okay,
I don't, and then they don't act brand new. Don't you hate it, Dr. Jones, when you do meet somebody, you reach out to them, maybe it's the next day because it was an evening event, and they act brand new. They act brand new. It annoys the crap. I eliminate all that. Because here's the other thing. I know I don't really have time to be chasing people down.
Yeah.
So if I make a good connection with you on the spot, I'm getting you on my calendar. There's no reason not to today, because we all have it right here. Yeah. So we're going to open our calendars, find a date and time that works, and we're just going to Zoom. I don't even, no pastries, no food, no driving, no traffic. Get on Zoom. Let's get connected. Then if we need to meet in person and figure out we need to do something together, we can do that.
That is so amazing to me. And it's interesting. I said, I've had different walks of life people to come on, and I hadn't been able to find a salesperson, a network person, or things like that. And I understand, because usually those people are doing what we're trying to get done. So when I do that, I said, this here is going to help not only future people, but the past people who've been on the podcast or who know me. They will be able to see this video and work in their own right in what they're trying to do. And I think when you think about your skill set, the things you already said, show up, be attractive, and all the things that people look for when they see people, those things go a long way.
Absolutely. And the other thing is that I think people miss the mark with is, you're not networking to sell. Oh my gosh, you are not networking to sell. You are networking to build a connection. I could sell to you, Dr. Jones, and if you need what I have, great, I'll sell it to you. But really, I'm trying to find out who you know. Because before you hit record, I told you I was coming into Atlanta. You was like, okay, I need to introduce you to this lady. See, that's real networking.
That is.
And if we stop showing up with a sales mentality, especially, and I'm going to step on some toes here, but I'm old enough to be able to do that. Network marketers, stop trying to sell people. Stop trying to get them on your team on the spot. You don't even know them people. Could you please spend a little time, I call it dating, before you ask me to go to bed? Please just date me for some time.
Yeah. And that makes so much sense.
But in relationships, when we're dating for a romantic relationship, most of us would never ask someone to go to bed with us when we first meet them. But when you're asking for a sale at an event, or just when you're first meeting somebody, you haven't even got to know the person. And so I'm on a mission to help, especially Black entrepreneurs, do what the good old boys do.
Yeah.
For centuries, good old boys have been building connections, building relationships. Today, they still do it, but they do it in the form of golfing, fishing, hunting, or barbecues. But they are building those relationships so when the deals come, they know who they're going to share it with. And we're so busy grinding, we don't pause to really figure out how we can help somebody else so that somebody else can help us. I get really preachy about this, so sorry.
Well, it's no problem about that because I'm not saying, it's interesting because when I talk to the people at the church, one of the things I really believe in is you have to build relationships before you can build disciples. And in the church community, it's all about making disciples and building disciples. But you just can't go and ask a stranger to come to your church and they never broke bread with you, never had coffee with you, never had a lunch with you or anything like that. You have to get to know people. And one of the things I believe, and it's funny, you said something when we first started, and I said, she did one of my things. Compliments, genuine compliments will really open up the door for a conversation to relate to people.
Absolutely. So look for something you can find that's unique for the person and give them a compliment and mean it. Yeah. That's a great conversation starter. I have a lot of introverts that hire me because they know they have to get drastic or else. Yeah. And so they're like, I'm an introvert. I don't like networking. And I'm like, well, do you like cold calling? Do you like knocking on doors? Now, I'm Jehovah's Witness, and I don't want to knock on doors for me. I'll knock for him, but I ain't knocking for me. Yeah. So you don't want to cold call. You don't want to knock on doors. You ain't got no budget for advertising, social media ads, direct mail. That's about all you got. So only thing you can do is figure out how to network and build those connections. And a great conversation starter is a compliment. Yeah. So I love what you say there. So thank you.
And it's so interesting to me because when you think about all this world have to offer for as getting to know people, trying to find your purpose in life and trying to work it. And, we have to show some type of excitement for what it is we say we love. And that's when I use the passion for purpose, because when you have passion is like the gas that drive your car. Absolutely. And your car will not go anywhere without gas. So no matter what you have, if people can't feel it from you sometimes,
that's right.
It'll be hard for them to believe that you care as much about it as you say you do.
Absolutely. And so you do have to get the people. The number one compliment I get from people all the time is, I love your energy. And I'm not a spring chicken.
Neither am I.
But it's my passion for what I do that really comes through. And I am energetic around it because I'm on a mission. On a mission. And so I again want to say thank you for finding me out of a crowded social media space and giving me the opportunity to share what I'm passionate about. I'm hoping this conversation will touch, move, and inspire someone to be different around their relationship building.
So how did you get into this? The whole network marketing, sales, and things like that. Did you have a mentor, or did you see somebody and you said, I wanted to be like that person? Or did you read books, look at videos? How did you get here?
Yeah, great question. The answer to all the questions that people ask me is networking in short order. However, I didn't always love networking. So how did I get here? I would go to events. So this was 2005. In a former life, I was a associate manager in a financial services organization. So my job was recruiting new advisors. Yeah. And people would say to me, you need to network. And I was like, okay. So, and that's what's happening today. People are telling small business owners, you need to network. Yeah. So I would get cute, dress up, show up, and meet a lot of people. And I'd take cards and I'd say, you get a card, you get a card, you get a card, you get a card. And they'd say, oh, you're so nice and I like you and we're going to get together. And I'd go back to my office and I'd sit at the desk and I'd wait for the phone to ring. Phone didn't ring. So I do it again. Go to the event. You get a card. You get a card. You get a card. Toni, you're so nice. I can't wait to connect with you. We're going to get together. And I'd say, okay. And I go back to my office and yeah, did they call? No. So I did it again, but this time I met a lady like me. She was a coach. She was a networking coach, in fact. And she said, Toni, you're not networking right. What do you mean? I'm cute. I'm showing up. I'm passing out cards. And she said, yeah, but pay me $6,000. This was in 2005, before coaching was cool. Pay me $6,000 for my 8-week course, and I'll show you how to network. Well, at that time, Dr. Jones, I didn't have no $6,000, but I had a passion, I had a desire, and I had a retirement account. So I tapped into the retirement account and I said, I got to invest in me. And it was coaching that transformed my life. And if I were to go back, my first time getting into coaching was 2003. And at that time, I was a financial service on commission only. I didn't know where my next paycheck was coming from, but my directors who were making hundreds of thousands of dollars said, you need a coach. And I believed them. And so I started coaching then. That lady was my second coach. And I'm going to tell you something. If I had to pay her $6,000 a year for a renewal fee, I would do it because she changed my life. So the answer to your question is coaching and then implementing. Because a lot of people get coached, but they still get in their head and they don't do what the coach tell them to do. But I'm not going to pay that kind of money and not show up. And so that's how I learned the power of networking, how I learned to do it right. And now I have the privilege of teaching others to do it as well.
I want you to please say what you just said again, the last part when you said how people get into their head after they paid money for the training and advice and get into their head and still want to do it their own way.
Yeah. I have clients, sometimes they hire me as their coach and then they want to stay their own way. And I have to go into their face. Did you hire me to stay the same? Because if so, you just wasted your money. But most people hire me because they know they have to get drastic and they got to get out their comfort zone. So I tell my clients all the time, get out of your head, get into your heart, and get out into the world and serve the people you're meant to serve. Our businesses, Dr. Jones, is not about us.
Yes, I agree.
If my business was up to me, if it was up to me, I would do this.
Yeah.
I mean, I love what I do, but I'd be sitting on the couch eating bonbons somewhere. I'm doing what I do to serve other people so other people can serve other people.
That's it.
And when it gets hard, I have to focus on that part.
And you know, it's so amazing because you said something earlier about how you would go to the event, you dressed up, look nice, and pass out the cards and things like that. And you know, that works well for beautiful females, or not necessarily beautiful females, that works well for females. But it's hard for men for the most part. And I tell you, because men, for some reason, we don't know how to stick with the goal as opposed to following our eyes. So I'll say that what happens, men, we have to realize when we're trying to network and trying to get something going off the ground, you have to keep it really focused, and you have to, in the very first few seconds, especially if you're coming up to another lady, let them know your purpose and let them know, I'm not here trying to find a wife, I'm not looking for a girlfriend, I'm looking for someone who could, together, maybe we could do something good. And after that, usually women will relax then, because a lot of times women hear so much mess from men. It's like they already have a deaf ear as soon as you approach them. And if you don't know how to approach them genuinely with sincerity, you're not going to be able to really get anything going for the most part. And especially in a city like Houston and Atlanta.
Yes, exactly. You know, I had a gentleman ask me recently, well, Toni, this date strategy you teach, it works well for women. He said exactly what you said. He said, but I wonder if women think I'm trying to hit on them. So here's a tip. Yeah. If you have a girlfriend or a wife, you can say, you know, I wish my wife was here to meet you as well.
Yeah.
I would love to connect with you, learn more about who you are, what you do, and how I can support your business. And maybe I'll invite my wife to that conversation. And that lets people's guard down when they know you're serious about business. But yeah, you brothers, sometimes you do get a bad rap because of history.
And it's interesting because I do that usually in the podcast. I say for some reason something would come up, and it just came up where I talk about my wife. And the thing about it is, when you have a wife or a girlfriend and you all a team, whatever your name is, Team Jones, whatever, it's about us. And it's not about, I'm concerned about what she's doing or concerned about what he's doing. So when you mention to a lady, my wife would really like talking to you or something like that, it does ease that. And I wish men knew that secret a little more, because a lot of times my wife tell people, when I go to the store, I can go to the store for a 5-minute pickup, but I'm gonna see somebody that I know or somebody who we interest each other, and we'll have a 10 to 20-minute conversation. Now it helps that I'm a pastor, because it's a little easier for me to talk to people, but a lot of people, it's not that easy for them, because people automatically go have reservations about you. They go wonder, what are they trying to sell me? What are they trying to get out of me? No, I'm trying to see what can we do together that might make a difference in why God put us here on this earth.
Exactly. So I love what you're saying. Yes. And yes, so just lead with your wife.
Yes, lead with the wife. And I think it's so good, because a lot of times, especially when it comes to men doing things, when you have a nice lady, and it don't have to be your wife, but ladies are able to kind of buffer the situation and make it a lot more easy. Because men, we don't really just talk like women like to listen and women like to engage. So if you have a lady partner, a lady associate, something like that, let them be the icebreakers, and you come in and be the silent, kind of strong part, and then you let your stuff come in when the right time happens.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me say this to men as well, because I know you have men that watch this.
Yeah.
Y'all invest in coaching.
Yes.
The coaching communities that I'm a part of, my coaching group is all women.
Wow.
I'm not exclusive. Now, there are some coaches that cater to women, but that's not me. I'm always wanting to bring men in. I feel like if we strengthen the men, then the women won't need the programs that women have. And so I want men to be successful, but they will not pay the price to invest in my coaching. I've only coached 2 men. Wow. And I have men in my community, in my network and action, but when it comes to them coaching with me, they don't.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why part of that is the reason, and it's unfortunate. And I say that because in the church setting, it's the same. You have mostly women. You have few men, and men are not the type that receive instruction as well as women.
Yeah.
Men have to build and break it and tear it up and then build it again till it's right. Whereas, and I'll give you an example. Whenever there's something that I have to buy and need to be put together, I look at the picture and I look at, I can do this. My wife, she would look at the instructions.
That's right.
She would read it line by line and put it together, and it'd be so perfect. I put it together, I left a screw, or I forgot this, or something like that. And I've learned as a man, and most men, hopefully we will all learn, that if you could just listen to instruction, follow instruction, read instructions, and 9 out of 10 times, women are way more smarter than men anyway. Listen to these women that God has put on earth for us to be able to succeed in life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to ask your men to show up. My conference is October 4th through 6th. I want to ask your whole community to show up, but
we're gonna put all that in the comment section too, because I want people to be able to get all this information that you have. I want to make sure that no one has an excuse not to be able to be involved with somebody who is network marketing and doing it for our community.
And let me say this, because network marketing and networking for marketing are 2 different things. So let me please clarify. Network marketing typically is your Amways, your Mary Kays, companies like that. and there's nothing wrong with those business models. But when you say network marketing, it typically denotes those type of companies. Networking for marketing is using the power of networking to build community, to help you build your business. So that's the difference. But it is critical to your success to have a networking strategy so that it is part of your active lead generation to help bring business to you. So I hope that was clear.
It did, and thank you so much for saying that too, because a lot of times we don't say, we hear the words and we like to run them together, and next thing you know, we done made up our own meaning for what it really meant. And
exactly.
Clarifying that network for marketing and how that is more powerful than network marketing, because network marketing is all about getting to that certain level, and
that's right.
Network for marketing is about building so it can sustain itself.
There you go, my brother, you got it.
I love this. And it's so interesting to me because me seeing all these people I know, I'm one say in my in my day job, I work in my specialty is taxes and building, so, starting businesses and things like that. And people don't understand the process of marketing, getting all this information ahead of time before you even go out in the business. Because if you don't have some type of strategy or some type of person who can help you with this, you're going to be spinning wheels like a hamster.
Yeah. And most people, think that it's all about the business card or the website, but really it's about what makes you unique.
Yeah.
So one of the things I work with my clients on is their brand and what makes them different than everybody else that does the same thing. I cannot stand it when I go networking and I meet a realtor and they say, I'm a realtor. Well, so is 50,000 other people in this city. So tell me something else about who you are and what you do. So I have a couple of realtors that I help with their branding. One is the Reset Realtor.
Yeah.
Because she personally went through a lot of life resets. And the truth is, usually when people are buying or selling real estate, they're in a reset. They're getting married, they had a child, they're resetting. And it just makes sense, to have a brand. I have another brand, she's known as the Realtor That Connects. The realtor that connects the dots for her families to get them in the right place. But it's more powerful to say that than to say, I'm a realtor, so know your uniqueness is so important. And, me as a coach, there are a lot of sales and marketing coaches out there. There are not a lot of networking experts out there, but my uniqueness is I'm the coach that connects. Yeah. Because I do have a gift. I teach to my clients to listen to what someone is saying, and then figure out how you can connect them to someone in your network. And that's the other reason we're networking. We're networking so we have connections to connect people to. When I have a strong network, I just got off a call with a lady. She arranges speaking for her community. So I'm like, who else you need to speak? She said, I need this, this, and this. I'm like, I got that person. I'll make the introduction. And I told her, I said, the next time you think I need a speaker for, can you call me first? Now, because I have spent the time building that network. So a lot of times you're networking not just for business, you're networking for a Rolodex. Now, I just dated myself.
Yeah.
That you can open doors for your clients.
And hearing you say that, I'm thinking now, for those who go watch this podcast, I want them to know that my wife and I are going to make sure we get your name out to people, because not only is it going to help people, but it's helping us at the same time, because the bigger we make the network, the bigger we make our environment and strengthen it, the better it is for all of us.
So I got people who would love to do this with you and have conversations. I can introduce you to would you like introductions to my clients?
I would love that. And you're talking about what makes people different. If you go to my website or even go to the YouTube, you're going to see, like I said, I'm a pastor, but I'm the purpose pastor, because my whole thing is everybody has a purpose, and sometimes you need help finding it.
That's
so
right.
my whole thing is, let's see what God have you here for. Why did, out of all the people, why did he put you in Houston? Why did he put you in Dallas, Atlanta, and all these things? Why are we here? So things like that. And I love the fact that how you did the real estate person, because like you said, there's a real estate agent in every community and some on every street. So we have to know what it is. I was looking at Steve Harvey not too long ago, and he said that his thing is you have to be able to know the room, know your crowd, and find out. And you said something earlier that made a difference. You have to find a person's pain and speak to it.
That's it. That's what your marketing is all about, speaking to the pain. So I speak to people's networking pains. You sick of going to events, passing out cards, and ain't nothing happening. Let me teach you how to make something happen. And so, and that's painful because you get dressed, you show up, you get in traffic, you pay a cover charge, costs you time, costs you money, and nothing comes from it. So got to speak to their pains.
Thank you so much, Coach Toni, for this opportunity to share with you on the Be Better on Purpose, Passion for Purpose, Up Close and Personal podcast, because what you said in this moment we had together is so impactful, so powerful, and I truly believe that so many people go benefit from this. And I'm going to go on record and say this is not going to be the first last time. Well, it's the first time, but it's not going to definitely be the last time, because I truly believe that there's something good that we can connect from Houston to Atlanta and all over this country and globally, if God see that's where we need to go with this. Because what most people do is they have the idea, they have the talent and the skill, they don't know how to get the people to buy into it.
That's right. That's right. And
that's
so, yes, I'd love to come back.
You're the connector. And I love that, the connecting coach. And we're going to make sure that we start connecting some of these people together. Like when we first started the podcast, as soon as you said something about coming to Atlanta, I thought of somebody instantly who I felt like, man, I know this person would probably really enjoy this. And I got to make sure that I get this information to them. So,
Yep. And I appreciate that. And that's what I do best too. So I'll introduce you to my clients who want to get their words out into the world so that you all can have a conversation as well. And then the more I help you, guess what you want to do for me?
In return.
And if we have more people doing that, entrepreneurship wouldn't be such a struggle.
Isn't that amazing? So before we close, why don't you share with us some words of encouragement for those who are on the verge of giving up, who feel like they've invested their time, invested their money, their energy, their blood, sweat, and tears, and still don't see no way to where they're trying to go. Just give us some words of encouragement and let them know that there is a way.
There is absolutely a way, but you have got to get drastic. Yeah. Whatever that means for you. Nobody is successful inside their comfort zone. So getting drastic means doing something, showing up somewhere, connecting with somebody, and getting out of your comfort zone. If you are in your comfort zone, it's not going to happen. So that means you're going to have to invest time and money getting drastic so that you can achieve what you want to achieve. Now let's also talk about this. If you quit, how are the people that you're meant to serve going to get what they need?
Exactly.
Your business is not about you. Your business is about the people you are meant to serve. And if you quit, and let me be clear, all of us have thought about quitting.
Yes.
Okay? But we keep going. Sometimes the drastic step is to keep going when you don't know when or where. How I got introduced to NIA is I showed up when I was this close to taking a job. I didn't want a job, but I just said, I'm going to keep showing up because something's going to happen. And I met a lady who introduced me to NIA. And now I am creating a global business. And here's the other thing. It only takes one person to change your life. One. But they're not going to knock on your door unless they're Jehovah's Witness like me. So, Joe, you got to get your butt out there and find the people so you can be present for the people who are meant to help you help others.
And let me say this, since you mentioned Jehovah's Witness, during the pandemic, we didn't get a chance to see a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses coming out as much, but something happened to me last week that just really made me smile. I got a letter in the mail, and I'm like, I don't know who in the world this is. And it was a Jehovah's Witness letter, as though they came and knocked on my door.
Yeah, we write letters, we make calls, we knocking on doors. That was the best thing the pandemic gave us too, was the ability to, so I had Bible studies online with people around the country just because of the pandemic. So that's the other thing. Can I say this about encouragement? Mm-hmm. Sometimes what looks negative is definitely positive. Yeah. But you got to get to the other side of it to see it. Have you ever been in a rainstorm, Dr. Jones, and all of a sudden the clouds just came in, thunderstorm just came in, and it's pouring down rain, you're driving, and you see people pulling off to the side of the road with their flashers on, waiting out the storm. What I know for sure is I got to keep driving. Yeah. Because I got to drive out of the cloud. The cloud is stationary, but if I keep moving, sometime in life we have life clouds and we pull over and wait till the cloud passes, when we really should keep moving. Even if we have to slow down, even if we have to put our flashers on, you need to keep moving. And the way I teach people to keep moving is to keep showing up to events, to people, places, and things. Keep doing dates, because somebody's going to say one thing that will, or knows one person that's going to trigger something for you, will get you out of the storm.
And I'm going to say this, that was just so powerful. The Jehovah's Witness, I think they have a unique stronghold on network for marketing, and you all need to share that with other faith-based groups, and y'all should do a school on how to network for marketing.
And we are trained. It is the best.
I love the training. I said y'all should open up that training to other people, because when I tell you the things that you all do, and I have several friends who belong to certain halls of Jehovah's Witnesses in my community, and when I tell you I love how they get it, I said y'all need to teach us how to do what you all
just need to come on over where we are. That's all.
It's really amazing. But
we do. Now, let me say this, and I know, and we're not going to get into a religious discussion, but what Jehovah's Witnesses teach is a lot of sales type of principles. Even though we're not selling for money, it's prospecting.
Yes.
Knocking on doors, calling, letter writing. That's prospecting. So how are you prospecting as a business owner? It's building a connection. So we are taught, if they got kids, if you can see toys in the yard, talk about family. If you can see that they maybe a sports fan, talk about sports. So we open the conversation with something we see. Then we can talk about what we're there to talk about. And then we call it return visits. But if we find interest, we write it down and we follow up by doing a return visit. And most people drop the ball in their business on the follow-up. They don't return. And people will tell you, I need what you got, and you still won't call them.
Yeah. And it's so much available to us. And again, the information that you have and others like you, it's available to us, and it's an investment. You're investing not only in yourself, but you're investing in your purpose, you're investing in why you're here, and you're investing in the lives of others. And when you invest in the lives of others, dividends will return.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
For this, Toni. And I look forward to talking to you real soon. And we're gonna have this video up and out for people to see. And I want you to share your information with me. You can send me your links and all that stuff. We're gonna put them in the podcast at the bottom. And once we put them in there, everybody will know how to get in touch with you, and no one will have an excuse for not being able to be the very best they can by being better on purpose.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and have a great day.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.